The views and opinions expressed in my Passion Q&A reaction videos are based on personal insights and constructive feedback. They are intended to provide guidance, support, and encouragement for contestants and viewers. These videos are not meant to offend, criticize, or demean anyone. Please keep in mind that pageantry is subjective, and every opinion shared is part of a healthy discussion to promote growth and learning in this field. Thank you for understanding and supporting the spirit of positivity and improvement.
You describe the colors of the rainbow to a visually impaired child. Once again, how would you describe the colors of the rainbow to a visually impaired child?
How would I describe the colors of the rainbow to a visually impaired child? Ladies and gentlemen, yes, given that he doesn't have the sense of seeing, then definitely I will use the other senses, such as the sense of feeling, taste, and all the senses that we can use so that I can explain the colors of the rainbow. Red signifies as love. Orange symbolizes as empathy. Yellow for joy. Green for nature. Blue for peace. Indigo for strength. And violet for victory. And this, I can explain it to a child by being added to her and hug him so that he can feel the colors within me. Good evening.
Further, we'll divide our reactions into three parts, beginning with the positive aspects, the areas to improve on, and our general comments at the end of our reaction. Okay, let's begin with the positive aspects. Beginning with the use of sensory details. In her answer, she incorporated the idea of using other senses, such as touch and emotions, which was creative and compassionate approach for describing colors to a visually impaired child. That was great. Second, she used symbolism of colors. Okay, the way she assigned meanings to each color, such as red for love, orange for empathy, and so on, adds emotional depth and helps connect abstract concepts to feelings that child might understand. This approach can be effective in simplifying the explanation. Alright, that was great actually. Last is empathy and connection. Okay, her suggestion to hug the child and make them feel the colors is heartwarming and adds a personal touch. That was really great. And it demonstrates empathy and emotional intelligence. So kudos to that ending last answer of her. Okay, and there are some areas to improve on. Okay, first, to clarify the structure. The answer starts off strong. It could benefit from clearer transitions between the ideas. For example, when she shifted from describing the senses to the symbolic meaning of colors, a smooth transition would help the audience follow her thought process more easily. For example, after mentioning the other senses, she could say something like, I would describe the colors by associating each one with feelings and emotions that the child can understand. Okay? Next to that is linking to other senses more explicitly. While she mentioned using other senses like taste and feeling, it would be helpful to include specific examples of how these senses relate to the colors. For example, because it was really vague, right? For example, describing red as something warm to touch, like the sun, or yellow as the taste of something sweet, like banana, could make the explanation more intense. But there was enough answer to this. There was enough personification to describe colors. However, she mentioned different senses like feelings and emotions, so that's why we suggested that answer. Next, polished the delivery. She could polish more the delivery. There are moments where the sentence structure could be smoothed out for a more polished delivery. For instance, being an added to her and hug him could be rephrased for clarity and grammatical correctness. Okay, that was really obvious. For example, I can embrace a child, allowing them to feel the warmth and love that each color represents, making the experience more personal. Okay, she could use that instead. Next is consistency in pronouns. There is a small inconsistency in pronoun use. She mentioned both him and her. Him, I think, in the beginning, and her towards the end of her answer, because that ensure that the pronouns are consistent to avoid confusion. And of course, emphasize the child's perspective. It could be helpful to reiterate the importance of making the description relatable to the child's own experiences. This supports the idea that you're tailoring, or she's tailoring the explanation for their unique understanding. Okay, overall, this was a thoughtful and heartfelt answer that sounded so fluent. Her gestures helped her grasp the idea while taking time to relax on stage, and that is a personal technique of Miss Kirk. Maybe you have, or maybe you have encountered a visually impaired child, and begin your answer from that story. That could be more powerful. However, if there's no experience meeting or interacting with an impaired child, a visually impaired child, that answer of her was really powerful, and I think that's the reason why she won as our reigning the last queen for Queen Philippines 2024.